is that Liquid, even when behind, has been able to sneak those Barons from FlyQuest.
Yep, I mean, they tried it 4 times in a row in game number 1 and didn't quite get it, but only needed 1 there in game 2, so we'll see what changes here in the draft.
And we move on to game 3 here, and with a loss for Team Liquid, they would be locked into playing the promotion tournament. They would not be able to, even with a victory against Dignitas, have a head-to-head or game record over FlyQuest or Echo Fox. So, at this point, Team Liquid, this is do or die to avoid having the promotion tournament. And that's what they made these changes for. They brought Dardoch in, they brought Mickey in, they've shifted people around constantly. And at first it was go for playoffs, now it's avoid promotion, and a win here would delay that being a possibility for them for another day.
Of course, big great news for FlyQuest, because they would be in a very good position, breaking the tie that's currently in 8th place with Liquid. As first pick Maokai will come once again for Fly, Elise, Galio, and Gnar with their 3 bans, and Caitlyn, Zac, and Kalista actually banned by Team Liquid.
Well, the Kalista gave so much to not just Piglet, but also to the team to rush the Baron, and for Matt to just be the Blitzcrank who's going to play aggressive. Even if he gets caught, you can go ahead and pull him out with Fate's Call.
Well, see what Liquid do here. Jarvan already selected. I have to think that's going back into Dardoch's hands. Matt is going to get another hooking support here with Thresh. Going to revisit that after the first game. And our FlyQuest kind of have pretty similar openings that they had in the last game. They can take a mid lane here, but high if they want something safe like Corki. They can pick up their bot lane and secure something like Tristana if they want to take that away.
Yeah, Tristana jumps out to me. Orianna's another champion that jumps out to me as well. And WildTurtle had the Caitlyn last game, but the Tristana was the one that he got the player of the game on, had the resets and had the mobility in the team fight, as well as back then he actually had the Morgana Black Shield to help him out. And that was what they had actually picked here to counter the Thresh. I feel like FlyQuest may just go with Morgana here again.
I think you have to. I mean, this is Team Liquid showing you pretty much the same draft, maybe even the exact same draft from game 1.
This is exactly the same draft from Team Liquid and FlyQuest as game 1. Only difference is Gnar was banned instead of the Talia that FlyQuest had put up there. So saying they didn't want to have to deal with that. And this will be a departure.
It will if it's locked in. We'll see if Varus is the selection there for Liquid, but I think now realizing that, all right, they've already picked their bottom lane. Piglet's like, please don't get me trapped in another bottom lane I don't want to be in.
Well, it was Kog'Maw last time in game 1, and they're going to go with the Varus here, so this is a bottom lane that's all about pick potential and trying to catch people out. And so far, it's been good for Team Liquid in terms of winning the bottom lane and being aggressive. And FlyQuest, once again, in a situation where this Thresh and Matt, who've been looking on point today so far, they've been dominating the bottom lane. We'll see if that happens again.
Well, there's a Shen ban from Liquid, so again, respecting the fact that Moon can also play Maokai that we saw in the last game. Is a little tougher with less income, but isn't too bad, as LeBlanc will be the ban there for FlyQuest. Going to take that away from Mickey.
Yeah, I would assume the Talia comes out next, but Mickey has shown that he's okay with playing Orianna, which would then be the pickup afterwards.
Yeah, kind of tough here for High because he can't get that pick out of this phase if he wants it.
Yeah, the Lucian ban to kind of force him towards Corki again. So I think we may have kind of the same draft here. FlyQuest, last time in this spot, they had actually banned Gnar, but they had already banned Gnar. So Talia, Orianna, could ban either of those here. I would assume it's the Talia if you were scared of it in game 1. Yep. And then that would mean the Orianna gets picked up by Team Liquid. But if you want to ban the Ori, might give you a better matchup.
Ooh, they actually banned the Cho'Gath, so they're going to keep that away from Lourlo this time, who took it in the first game. They didn't beat it, but it was a little troublesome. WildTurtle needs to shoot a lot of times to be able to get that kill down, and Mickey is actually not going to go for the Talia. We'll take Orianna for the 3rd straight game here. Yeah,
having it all 3 so far in his debut with Team Liquid, which will prompt FlyQuest to go for the Corki. And then last time they went for the Rengar here. So, don't know if that'll happen again. But they did win that game, but I wouldn't really say it was off of the back of the Rengar.
No, I don't think so either. There's Corki locked in for High, so same mid lane matchup 3 times in a row, and now FlyQuest have to show, look, is there another tank? Is there an aggressive jungler? What's happening in this final pick?
It's like, if you like Corki versus Orianna,
this is the series for you.
Yeah, and you really like it, well, it's absolutely the series for you. But I feel like this is also a takeaway, because if there's an Orianna plus Dardoch on Rengar, like that's a very deadly combo to have. And then you would have Jarvan plus the Rengar, which would give you so many ways to actually dive the backline. And is it going to be the Nautilus?
It is.
All right, okay.
So back to tanks there for TL in that top side. with Nautilus getting picked into Maokai this time. Balls had his counter pick and did a lot of work individually, but wasn't enough to kind of win the team fight. So Moon is going to be back on the aggressive pick this time around. In fact, FlyQuest have literally drafted the exact same way in game number 3 here as they did in game 1.
This is the game where they won, though, right? It was off of kind of a comeback later on because the Baron had gone over to Team Liquid. They were able to kind of get back in it from WildTurtle, out-farming Piglet very heavily. Had a Flame Horizon, 100 CS up about 27-ish minutes. And a little bit later than that. But Team Liquid, it's kind of a mixture of their game 1 and their game 2 composition here, kind of taking some of the parts that worked, some of the parts that didn't, throwing them out the window. Like the Kog'Maw, placing that with the Varus, and then the Thresh. Instead of the Blitzcrank, they had the option for it, but the Thresh is the one that they prioritize a little higher. That's where my eyes are, is this bottom lane, and what's going to happen here, because, once again, Hook City for Matt. He teamed up with Lourlo, who was ecstatic after last game, and you have to have that confidence coming in here and that momentum from game 2 if you're Team Liquid, because promotion tournament on the line. If you lose here, you will be in the promotion tournament if you're Team Liquid.
Yeah, and if you're FlyQuest, you hold on to those championship points, maybe.
Yeah, they had to play Phoenix 1, and even the fact that Team Liquid has taken FlyQuest to 3 games hurts FlyQuest's chance, because game record will matter when they play Phoenix 1 if Phoenix 1 beats them.
Well, a lot on the line here, but there's only one more game left between these two teams here. Have to see exactly how it all shakes out. Certainly Liquid investing heavily into the aggression of their bot lane. I have to think that Varus is the kind of pick that Piglet and Matt can really just get aggressive in the 2v2. They're already doing it with a Kog'Maw and Thresh. Now significantly better enabled to try and get work done early. I'm expecting action. We'll see what happens here in game 3 as we move out onto the Rift.
Yep. Looks like Team Liquid, 5-man. They're rushing in. They're looking for a hook. They're looking for what worked for them last time with Matt on the Thresh, the Flash Flay.
TL trying to get very aggressive. I mean, we already talked about them wanting to get stuff done early. This is just an extension of that to the extreme. High is going to spot them all, though. I think Lourlo lagging just slightly behind, but a good ward from Mickey. Going to get vision onto the Raptor camp. Moon hasn't moved from his spot just yet as TL pinging towards that brush. So FlyQuest will not return some vision right now. So
TL gets wards on both the Raptors in red, and they don't return any wards, which is a pretty awkward situation to look at for jungle starts here. And Balls is going to have to actually just set up some saplings if he's going to help Moon out. He's got to do it now. Move over and throw down 2.
And he's going to do that. Looks like pretty similar jungle starts for both of these guys.
Yeah, the whole idea is they don't want to have Rengar start on the bottom side. He does Raptors very quickly, and you could super leash him on this team composition, which would put him on the top side at level 3, and then that means Lourlo on the Nautilus has to watch out for a twisted advance into the Rengar jumping out, which would be such an easy gank to do. But because TL just don't want to have that happen and they understand Rengar pathing, mostly because of Dardoch, I would assume, they just don't want that to be a matchup that Lourlo has to deal with and kind of protecting him in the early game.
Still a big help there from Balls' Moon. Gonna go blue to Gromp. I imagine Dardoch's gonna do the same buff to Gromp part that he's done, I think, every single game if he does it this one as well.
It looks like Raptor's here, so he has the Hunter's Machete and he's not gonna go for just buff to buff. But this might be, it's gonna smite the big Raptor because it takes a decent amount of time. It's gonna queue through the rest of them and then finish them off there. The final few hits and head over to the blue buff. If he goes for the Wolves, then you know it's one of those clears where I call it the I hate Krugs clear, because I hate Krugs because they take so long to do, and you just do everything else in the jungle, leave them off on the side. They're so far away that don't even deal with them.
Just abandon them forever. As looks like Dardoch is going to blue buff, so he's going to be a bit more aggressive. It's Turtle almost getting hooked out by Matt, who's been so accurate all series long. Yeah,
and just this bottom lane in general, the TL bottom lane has been doing very well here. And once again, Lemonnation with the Get Ardent Sensor in the build has the Stoneborn Pact, so whenever he lands a Q or R, he'll actually trigger Ardent Sensor on if people hit that target. So, kind of get the benefit of having the Morgana Black Shield and the range CC for catch. Because you think about the other Ardent Sensor users, they don't have the same distance on their catch. You could maybe run like a Nami, but it's still not the same in terms of travel speed and distance and lockdown as the Morgana. So, a pick that Lemonnation is definitely... I was trying to think, like, maybe he runs Zyra with it. You give up a lot of your power for helping out your AD carry with Stoneborn Pack.
I mean, and that is important to note here in this lane. Part of the reason this 2v2 feels so clean for TL is that Stoneborn Pack, Morgana, and Tristana aren't doing very much at all.
Yeah, Coin doesn't really give you combat stats at all. It's 5% cooldown reduction, and then that's it. You don't get any AP, you don't get mana regen unless you're picking up the coins. And I wouldn't even consider that really a combat stat. It's kind of just a laning stat. So you'll always have a little bit of mana to get back. And Morgana's W actually costs a decent amount. It costs 70 mana, the Tormented Soil. So when you're throwing that out constantly, you're really going to put yourself in a bit of a pickle when you're starting to run low, but the coin stops you from that happening.
And again, certainly makes you enough money to get that sensor quickly. Well, we'll see kind of how that develops right now. Bottom lane getting pushed in, but looking okay for FlyQuest. High taking a lot of damage there in mid lane as
Moon,
is looking topside. Dardoch there as well, though. Both level 4. Moon already back, though, so it does have 2 longswords. It's going to be very effective in this early gank if they can find it.
And Lourlo caught the wave, and that's Moon actually going all the way up. And so this is going to be a 2-on-2. Interesting thing to note here is that the longswords came out for Moon. He's a little stronger.
Yeah, Lourlo flash, but he's going to find his way onto the turret with the Q. Dardoch will reveal himself as well. And Lourlo's going to live this time.
Yeah, Moon actually had a large advantage in that gank because he gets the jump, and then the second Q actually misses Lourlo there. Was a little fast on it, and Lourlo flashes over it, so he doesn't get the second part, the empowered. And now Matt, so much damage there. Just that auto attack from Matt.
Great binding, though. Hook is going to miss.
And that wasn't even a black shield from Lemonnation to try and react. That looked like the animation from the hook, the windup, was a little bit canceled by the lantern being taken. You couldn't hear it. So if you're going off of audio cues, it was just something that was covered up and masked there. Could have been bad for FlyQuest.
Yeah, and you can see 10 CS up for Piglet. There's 6 here for Turtle to try and pick up, but going to be tricky with Team Liquid Duo pressuring them here. Gets almost all of them. I think missed 2. But again, Turtle's going to struggle to farm safely given how aggressive Team Liquid play in every single bot lane matchup. Other than that, kind of looking in. See if High can kind of keep that CS continue to be even. And I think if he can keep up pressure, he did a great job roaming in the last game, I feel like, kind of beating Mickey to the punch in a lot of ways, but going to burn his TP here. Should be better equipped to, again, get around the map. And going to need to apply some good pressure. Yeah, nice one to Mickey.
Mickey wants to clear it, and he's actually going to blow Ghost here as Lourlo comes down.
It's a 1v3 right now. Hook is going to miss. Great flash from High.
Yeah, but that's a trade of flash and TP for a different back timer that Mickey's actually going to get the cannon minion, so he's in a pretty good spot. But gets the Ghost in return. And it's good roam from Lourlo for sure.
I think, again, a lot of it's just how much priority High can get here in this lane. Dardoch's going to assist. Mickey gets all of them. Nice synergy there, actually.
Yeah, just throw the Q. It actually looked like Dardoch was maybe trying to steal him, but you never know.
You know what? If that happens,
sets him up.
Probably doesn't mind too much.
When the jungler, if I'm a jungler and you call me to your lane to like help you push the wave, I'm pushing the wave as fast as it's up to you to CS it. You're taking my time for CS in the jungle. Efficiency.
Instructions unclear to Koyoku.
Yeah,
but I pushed the lane for you.
You told me to push.
Well, Mickey gets one back cancelled, but going to complete that next one. Lost chapter now finished. Going to be joined by a Dark Seal.
Yeah, it looks like Lourlo, no TP, no flash. It's going to be Moon coming to the top side again. Has ultimate. And Lourlo would have to peel and play this quite well. He's low on mana as well.
That's a super +6 from Moon, actually. He's kind of been hard farming, but Dardoch, again, also doing the same job. So
yeah,
very efficient from these two.
Yeah, remember, Balls also has 6, and he has Flash, Twisted Advance. So they would be able to close this distance quite quickly. I think you go now. Here comes the ultimate. Lourlo's got to get to a wall. There's the Twisted Advance. Or the crack.
Might be enough of the depth touch. Could be enough. Double knock. Run to the top lane to save his top laner. And now going to play back on a Moon, lands the hook.
And here's Dardoch.
Hook going to land in. That's going to be first, but Dardoch swoops in for it.
Matt with the roam. Oh, that was so clean. Coming in with the lantern. And that's the thing. That's not even an 80 carry and support roam. That's him saying, something's going to happen after his back with the Moby boots. And now Lemonnation going to roam towards Mickey. Gets the flash there. Even though Matt was there with the lantern, he had you, man. Matt's too good that even his own team isn't expecting him to be there.
Lemonnation, good little binding, but now he's actually caught out of position. Does have flash and exhaust, but going to take a lot of damage. Hook not going to land, but Piglet flash ultis. That'll be enough as Mickey gets a kill.
And Dardoch with the flag gets himself an assist. Love me some Jarvan.
He's doing well today.
Yeah, he's helping.
Certainly is. As a nice read on that first top lane play. I just feel like Moon definitely outpassed him in the last game, but games 1 and 3 has just been red so hard.
Lourlo puts it onto Moon, who doesn't get enough damage off there, and also got the ultimate, which went through, hit Balls and Moon both up because of the flash, and then Dardoch comes through, and Matt, that was just so well played from the Lantern to the hook to the roam after the mobility boots coming through early to allow him to roam and catch Lemonnation here on the backside. Yeah, flashes. Matt gave him the Lantern, but they have to know Matt is there because he threw down the Lantern and gave Mickey a shield. You got to assume that. And Lemonnation ran off to the side to try and go back to mid, or go back to bottom. That is not where you should be heading after you saw Piglet leave the lane and shoving. And then they catch him out there. And so, yeah, it was another hook there as a prediction from Matt. Didn't quite land, but Piglet had his back there.
Yep, DL up 600 gold as a result. Things going well as Matt is back on display here on Thresh. That blue buff over to High, who's going to remove it and get it. All that early pressure from Fly not really paying off. Lourlo's got his TP and his flash back up, so does Balls, to be fair. And now High with the package, maybe he's the one that can get the next roam going, because FlyQuest do want some sort of lead here.
Yeah, and when you're looking at FlyQuest to generate some sort of lead, it's usually High or Moon that you're looking for. And Moon's tried twice, got shut down once, got countered the other time. And so High might be his turn, like you said. Infernal Drake on the table. And TL, honestly, in not the best of positions with the flashes down on their carries. No, I actually feel like if you're FlyQuest, you wouldn't mind fighting this after getting another back here. They're going to try to go mid, try to get something here onto Mickey. With Dardoch in position as well to counter.
Jump lands, great shockwave. Dardoch around, but Moon already took down Mickey. High, though, could be the next target. It's
Dardoch
a double buff Jarvan. High is getting slapped to death. High is going to try and fight, but Dardoch should have enough. Dunk! There we go. Dardoch with the double kill.
Yeah, he saves it. Maybe he doesn't have to use it, but then he throws it out there just in case to get the damage there. And Dardoch right on time. The roams from Dardoch and Matt have been perfect.
Yep, 3-0 on 1 as well for Dardoch. Been involved in every single kill so far. Is he even going to get damage done here? The ultimate, but Turtle looking to try and take it down. Not enough. Oh my god, it is enough, Matt. Gets the slap at Lemonnation. Now locked into supportal combat with Matt. I don't know if he can do too much. Lemon already burnt the ulti. Matt is just going to find the flay, but the binding. Oh, Matt jukes it. Then lands a hook, but a black shield is going to move it. But Matt still moving forward. Going to try and get the Lantern over Matt again. Going to look to try and turn it back around, but the TP is going to make everybody else leave. Balls going to get cancelled over. No, that's High. Excuse me.
Rengar's here too.
Coming in from mid. Matt might get shot down here by Corki. Enough there as Moon grabs the kill.
And that was good from High to actually let Moon get the kill, a stack of the necklace, at least get some action on that and get back into this game, because he's tried multiple times for things. He's gotten a kill on the mid laner, but now he gets one finally on the support. So he's stacking up that necklace, trying to get that Rengar snowballing. Starting
the Drake briefly. FlyQuest, though, pretty quickly pull out of that play as we'll watch this mid fight once again.
And they see Dardoch. There's a ward that actually sees Dardoch on the side, but he's so fast to this because Mickey, with the shockwave on himself that hits both of them, delays the damage just enough and groups them up for Dardoch to flash, EQ, and now he does enough damage at this point, even with Cinderhulk, not Warrior, to kill a one-on-one on High, even though High had blown stuff before. This will be Piglet walking forward. Remember, CC here goes through minions. He doesn't have to wait for it, but then just so much damage. The knock away there from WildTurtle as well with the explosive charge on. There's enough burst damage. We see Tristana's try to do that to style, and then they save the person, but that was one that was right on point for WildTurtle.
Yep, certainly someone that is very practiced on this champion, and lane's actually going much better than I expected here for Turtle. He's up 15 CS, managing to trade kills back and forth and keep that going. So Tristana at maybe a slightly better clip than we may normally expect, and given that FlyQuest plan in 3 games so far has been to get Turtle to 3-4 items and then try and go from there. Good news for Turtle to be having a good start to this game, and Moon back down to this bottom side. Yeah. Dardoch also here, 3v3 potentially brewing here in bot lane.
Yeah, you have to think about what happened with Matt, where he started to roam and pick up kills in other lanes, both the top and mid. So it's a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1 for a bit on the bottom side, which has given WildTurtle a little more freedom in this bot side. So he's been able to kind of have a good time up against this Varus, which should by no means be able to kill him. Look at this.
Oh, no. Lemonnation. The box is there. Lemonnation is going to die to Piglet. Matt, just so many plays in a row. TL also get the Infernal Drake, so finally getting that first Drake for themselves. Ball's going to follow. Lourlo does get away. Pretty tanky at this point, so not too worried, and even mid lane taking a lot of pressure. Dardoch's looking for another kill on high.
Yeah, and that was a really good hook as well from Matt, because what happens is he sees Lemonnation for just a half second, dip through Fog of War, and then dip back, and he predicts where he's going to be based off the movement. It's very well done.
There's a reason his looks so good on Playmaking Champions. Just really accurate with these skill shots, and that's 3 games again in a row for him. Thresh, Blitz, Thresh, where he's just been very, very good. We'll see if it's enough to kind of keep TL up in this early game. 1,000 gold lead for them is nice. But Piglet's going to have to go back and spend some gold. Although he's going to get cancelled as Turtle's threatening these turrets. Yeah,
and Piglet doesn't have enough mana to actually ulti here and has flash and heal. So Moon may actually pop ulti, jump out. They don't have complete vision. And just the bottom side jungle of FlyQuest pretty much belongs to Team Liquid. And we'll see this again here. No vision, and Matt saw a while ago that Morgana dipped out, but then that's all it took for Matt to be like, there's a play here. Just Morgana walking up, showing herself for just a half second, and then dipping back into Fog gave him the time to do that.
Really nice there from Matt. It looks like High's turret's also pretty low. Doesn't have Trinity Force now, so High is equipped to make another play with this second package, but feels like TL have done a really good job again getting ahead, and then hopefully for their sake staying ahead.
Yeah.
Only 1,000 gold is not a huge lead, but they're back in the position that they've been in all 3 games.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a different kind of mid-late game for TL, because we're going to see Dardoch, who has most of the gold, get to a very quick Knight's Vow, which I assume you put on Mickey or Piglet. But Piglet going for a build that requires a lot of items and attack speed for Varus. And then for Mickey, more of the penetration build though. The Sorcerer Shoes instead of the Swifty Boots in this game. But the rotation to topside, where Lourlo has been struggling a bit, is going to be the first turret for FlyQuest here.
Moon actually even threatening Dardoch because he pops the ulti and runs down. Turtle was going top, but now going to move himself onto the turret. TL, though, should be able to get it. Mickey's solo work did so much there.
And this is 2-for-1 in turrets. This is actually not a good play from FlyQuest because they're not going to be able to push top out as far as they want. They're not getting a break off of it, and they're not getting Rift Herald off of this either. They get control of the top side jungle where nothing is spawning, but they'll trade it for bottom side control. And that's TL actually getting two waves of pushing farm. They'll push out top lane, which gives them a longer lane to kind of work with. And then right here, it's just if TL overextend, that's where the play can actually rubber band back on them. But they're going to have Mickey here for a 4-on-2 if they decide to go for it.
Yep, Turtle going to take down the rest of that wave, so I think should be safe to go static shift first after that BF sword. So lots of early wave clear and farming potential for the Trist.
Yep, get yourself up again in terms of CS. Remember in game 1, WildTurtle went for 100 CS up over Piglet after the team started grouping. And that's the thing, is now they're going to put WildTurtle in side lanes as soon as they become long lanes. And now it actually looks like TL is going to swap, try to go for the tier 1 turret top. And now it's the possible counter. If Tristana can get this bottom tier 1 turret and they can get this Rift Herald, then it actually ends up being an even trade and an advantage for FlyQuest because of the fact that they get the Rift Herald on top of it. And that could get them that mid lane turret. They just have to not lose their top lane turret. So this is all about map movement, then a counter, and who's getting just the tiniest bit more.
And I think Fly's kind of doing the right thing with their comp. I mean, as soon as Trist had static shift, they're just moving towards that side to look to take a turret. High with a nice roam, doesn't get a kill, but does manage to take down a turret, joining up with the rest of his team in top lane. So certainly evening those turrets back up for now. We'll see what other damage can get done, but looks like, again, simple lane assignments here for FlyQuest. And we've seen this again 3 games in a row. They are just going to sit in this pattern for 10, 15, whatever it takes, and just farm up until they're ready, feel comfortable to teamfight. TL, your job is to stop this from happening.
Yeah, and they have the Jarvan with the combo alongside the Orianna, and they have the picks from Matt. So you lose vision, and like you could see, look at TL. You talked about how it's their job to make sure nothing happens and that they can act, or something happens, sorry, that nothing goes unpunished. The top side vision is insane. They have so many wards in one quadrant of the jungle. I believe there's more wards on this quadrant of the jungle for TL than there are for FlyQuest in the game right now.
I think so, as Piglet does get bound up, but again, no vision here for FlyQuest on this side.
4-man top. Because they control vision here, it could be a 4-man dive on top side. They're looking for Lemonnation and WildTurtle, and they don't even have defensive vision here. They just have to kind of see this coming, and he's going to get him before he can Black Shield.
Oh, does flash out of the way. Black Shield's himself. Turtle,
there it is.
He's going to try and kick him out. Does get Mickey out of the way, but Dardoch able to take that kill. He's on a rampage as Moon running up towards that top lane. Not going to be in time to save this one. TL make the play.
Yeah, and now they'll have tempo. They can push this top tier 1, go for a tier 2. They can also try to get this faster than High can push. And remember, Rift Herald on Moon. He may use it mid and try to go for 2 turrets here, but Lourlo will be the answer.
Yep, they're going to channel it, so just make sure to get the out of it. Team Liquid should be able to get this tier 2 turret, so a very uneven trade here for FlyQuest.
Lourlo's going to have to back up as this turret dies.
Let's get away now, though. Hook on the Moon does a good amount of damage. Rengar just going to run away. Depth charge committed.
That's going to burn the flash.
They keep going. Moon actually just going to turn around.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Not high there, but yeah, no, never mind. Lourlo has enough damage with the Abyssal Mask to take down the Rengar, who's got no defenses at all, really.
Yeah, he got locked on, he flashed away, and that still got the flash out of him. Baron in a minute, and you're going to want that flash for a possible fight, and this Ocean Drake is going to give TL even more power. So TL get those 2 turrets on top side. They have perfect control of the enemy jungle right around Baron. I feel like Team Liquid started a big grind on how to do Baron, when to do Baron. And they are just forcing it down the other team's throat. They're like, this is our area. We're trading you for this part of the map. And they've done this in all 3 games. They've tried to go for Barons with very aggressive calls. And I think we're going to have another one here in just a moment once they reestablish the top side vision.
History would certainly indicate that as Infinity Edge is done for Turtle. We'll see just how many attempts that Baron does take here for Fly if they go for it. They're already up 2,000 gold, which is nice. But it's not a monumental lead just yet as High sneaks into this bottom lane.
Yeah, I feel like TL, though, have the... Even though there's like 2 item spike on WildTurtle, and he's up right now in CS, still have to worry about Piglet and his ability and the calls that TL have been making to go for those Barons. And yeah, Moon just takes so much damage here. Even roots, but then the flash not getting him over the wall. There's the difference there. As Lourlo may have had to flash after, but this gave him a clear avenue to get in there. And yeah, that's... Oh.
Yeah, you can see Moon not too happy with that play.
Yeah. High's going to try to, you know, get him one back.
Revenge. Well, good damage onto Lourlo, but High not really there with the big damage items just yet, so Lourlo able to tank most of that up relatively well.
Yeah, now they're going to try to get him up top. They're like, you messed with our friend?
And Root's going to come out as well. Lourlo should be going down if they can find a little bit more High. Yeah, but he's going to flash for it. Once the kill, he's going to get it.
You can't do Moon dirty like that and get away with it, Lourlo. What were you expecting?
They can do
But they're going to get the
Baron.
Oh, there's TP from High, so he took TP this game to change it up.
Lemon, a little too far forward, gonna get a big stun. No, doesn't complete. Mickey getting that next kill. Turtle gets out barely. Wrong direction on the play, but forcing the flash for Turtle.
Yeah, that was Turtle getting the buffered rocket jump through what was the flay there right afterwards. And then Piglet threw out the ultimate. It didn't connect either with WildTurtle, which allowed him to flash the hook afterwards. So just seriously, that's playing on the knife's edge from WildTurtle. Like, that is just fractions of a second. Ending up being in his death.
Both TP's down though, so TL are just going to go back to Baron. FlyQuest are here to fight, but there's a TP in from Lourlo. Baron is already low. They've got no vision inside of it. They need to get in now. It's low, 3k almost as balls. He's going to just go in and try and tank up the rest of this fight. Turtle needs to free fire onto the right targets, but I'm not sure it's enough. High, he's going to get dope moves for the assassination onto Matt. Of all people, Mickey's going to shockwave to save his teammate. He grabs the double kill.
That's 3.
Liquid 3-0 in that team fight.
Oh, can he get Dardoch?
Oh no, the jungler!
He's dead.
Goes down to Lemon. Stoneborn Pact somehow kills the jungler.
Who needs it? Yeah.
Another one?
Nope.
Not this time.
He doesn't have enough AP. It's a single point in W, I would assume. If he's not, yes, it is 1 point. I was like, no, let's not make this a thing. The Stoneborn Pact is already hurting my brain. But yeah, Lourlo TP's in. You can't cross that TP line, only balls can. And so Lourlo decides to go on the tank, have everybody else kind of collapse with him. But then the EQ from Dardoch onto High, that was just the flag and drag into the root auto attack from Nautilus, and then Dardoch followed up. And really, Dardoch has been all over in terms of this game. He is 5-1-5, highest KP on his team, but then right there, the coin, give me the coin.
He even took the gold out of his body, rubbed him as he lies there on the ground, and
he stole his money.
A very critical kill there for Lemon, because the smite being off the table means that TL gonna have to go for Baron attempt number 3. Again, 4 was the number in game 1 that they went for before getting it, so we'll see if they can break their own record from the series.
Yeah, these attempts can get you some things. They got him a few kills there. Dardoch died, and I actually feel like that's a net positive still for FlyQuest. They lost Lourlo on the top side, TP'd in, but then they got 3 kills for that one, and then Dardoch. So it was 2 for 3 overall in the entire thing, going in favor of Team Liquid, despite having to stop the Baron.
Well, don't worry. We're going to have another attempt very shortly.
It's like this game is just who can bait Baron better. And I feel like TL is just on it more frequently than FlyQuest.
Not really a bait if they're always trying to take it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the secret. Dardoch leaps in on Lemonnation. But an ulti from Ball's good, turn it back around the map. Hook lands again, finds Turtle. Corruption chain, he's going to land, but Ball's still tanking up a lot. Moon just can't find an angle for this fight at all. So flash forward, is they going to get a knock up in onto the tank? Ball's going down, not just yet. Massive Bramble Smash. FlyQuest just don't have the damage. Turtle even went Last Whisper now just to try and shred through some of these tanks.
Yeah, so the Energizer build's going to take a little longer to get online with the Rapid Fire Cannon for that extended range. But right now, TL, like, they're sacrificing farm in side lanes, which is something they did last time, but WildTurtle got a large CS advantage. And now it's like risky play after risky play. This is a bait with Matt up in the front. He's going to hook high. That's what they need.
But shield though is enough. He's going to evacuate out of the way. Turtle trying to get himself out of the way. Needs to live, but Mickey on a rampage takes down Lemon. Hook lands back in from Lourlo onto Moon, and he dies. Baron again, wide open for TL. This could be attempt number 4.
But I feel like the only healthy people on the team, besides Lourlo, and the Ocean Drake's going to help him though, would be Piglet and Mickey.
TP in, all right.
What's going on, Pastry?
He, again, can still break that record. Oh, Baron is so low, though. I think that's going to be enough. They can't quite get in there just yet. Looking for a steal. Could have got it. Lourlo able to take it down, but only takes them 4 once again. Team Liquid secure the Baron.
It didn't take him 4 tries this time. It was just about almost getting there. This is Matt kind of posting up, and there, the Scuttle Crab was the hero. They would have known that Matt was in the bush because Moon threw out his E, and it hit the Scuttle Crab instead of Matt in the bush. So Scuttle Crab's that 6th man there for TL, because that kind of gave the false sense of security there for the rest of the team to walk up. Sometimes the Scuttle Crab, it's better not to take it before you do Baron.
Well, 4,000 gold up for TLs are going to take yet another Drake. And I think this, to me, is the real difference maker. In game 1, FlyQuest got 3 Infernals and an Ocean. This time they have 0 Drakes to their name as TL grab a Earth to join their Ocean and their Fire.
Yeah, we're looking at Dardoch with that 5-1 and 8 scoreline, but Mickey, 2 levels up, 5-1 and 6, Majai's Soul Stealer, 10 stacked.
He likes his scoreline. He thinks it's going to get better.
I think he rolled a 6 this game.
Quite possibly. We'll see if you can roll even higher, but like we said, gonna have to change dice for that one.
Like, I feel like Majai's is just doubling down on how awesome you are, but hold on.
Oh,
the bird.
Dead Mickey! That's what you get for purchasing Majai's. The commentator curse strikes again. Zirene, that was your fault.
That was my fault. That was absolutely my fault. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Mickey. Now Dardoch gonna find high there. Who's gonna flash after Matt? He has to juke this hook. He's up against the wall.
Ooh, good ult from Piglet.
You can't juke them all.
Black shield, maybe a little late, but Isaac's fine. I'll just fire away and take down Piglet.
Ignite!
Not enough. Turtle leaps forward, but no one to kill.
I feel like he got saved there by Ardent Sensor Stoneboard Pack from Morgana.
Probably.
I am not joking. He was actually saved by that. No, this isn't supposed to happen, Pastry.
It worked in game 1. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say. Turtle is also getting stronger. LDR is done. Just needs that 4th item to really kick things into overdrive as Mickey. I mean, this is FlyQuest classic.
Yeah, the flash route onto Mickey. No reaction, no flash away. Just gets blown up. And that gets him back in the game, though. And this right here, High gets so low. And then the binding from Lemonnation with the Stoneborn Pack will give Ardent Sensor over to High, and it gives him enough HP to live here. This binding here that hits Piglet as he shifts up. Now he has the Stoneborn Pack. You can see High's getting the Ardent Sensor, the extra damage in there, and then he lives just barely.
I'm telling you.
Checking for the exact number on his HP there.
Coming to solo queue near you.
Oh, please no.
Stoneborn Pack Morgana.
He went down to 19 HP. 100% was saved there by Ardent Sensor Stoneborn Pack.
That is not very many, as it turns out. Thankfully, Piglet has realized this. He's bought an Executioner's Calling. Gonna cut all that down.
Let's see, how much, because like, we're always looking at effectiveness of this, because it's like, how much is he really getting off there? This Stoneborn Pack, this Ardent Sensor has allowed Lemonnation to give 627 health drain That is actually a decent amount for an Ardent Sensor, especially on a champion that relies on a skill shot to get that off.
Well, Baron push still coming here for TR. They've got just 5 seconds left, and it's good enough for that tier 2 turret in bot lane. FlyQuest have done a good job defending, but again, gonna have to wait till those next few item breakpoints. High on the way to Infinity Edge, Turtle on the way to Rapid Fire Cannon, and at that point, if this gold lead stays about where it is, Fly will likely feel comfortable enough that they'll be in control of this game. TL, again, need to push the pace a little bit longer. It's not that they can't fight when it gets later, it's just gonna get harder. And there's no reason to make the game more difficult on yourself, given how back and forth the series has been already.
Yeah, and they lost some momentum as well on Team Liquid's side. Like, they've picked up some Drakes, but that Maokai Soul Stealer, there it is. He sold it immediately. Because I talked about how he had 10 stacks on it. When you die, you lose 10 stacks. So he immediately lost 10 stacks when he was trying to play a little more aggressive and got punished by a clever play from FlyQuest. Forces him to sell the item to pick up the death cap. Doesn't have his Void Staff yet, which I consider the very big power spike that you would get as the Orianna.
Well, Nikki again, trying to get some higher rolls perhaps. Roll a 6, got my tries, roll a 1, died. Feels bad, but we'll see if he can keep it a little more even keel this time around. Still farming up a storm, so it should be all right here and able to protect some of these squishy carries as well. Again, we've seen these fights. It's frontliners running in. It's damage dealers trying to kill off those tanks. You said it. The one that dies first is usually, if your frontliners die first, your team loses. So Mickey, maybe even just happy to take that death cap and get even more shielding power and just make the fights last that much longer.
Yeah, why isn't he building Ardent Sensor? Shield.
You know what? That is an excellent question.
But yeah, the Ardent Sensor also goes off on the Black Shield, so whoever he's Black Shielding will get the Ardent Sensor on top of it. But like, right there, it was so good from the binding plus the Black Shield going back. But yeah.
I got no life steal except Warlords. It's just like,
man.
fine. Lemon, build me some life steals. Like, I got you, boss.
Yeah.
All good from there. And again, Flyer, so much free time in these side lanes has got to feel a bit worrying for Team Liquid. Drake up in a minute 25, Baron up in a minute 30. Like, there are objectives they can fight for, but all this free time is just getting them closer to some of these item breakpoints. Zirene only cares about one item breakpoint, though.
I know, I'm watching this Ardent Sensor where it's almost 1,000 healed from Lemonnation. Like, the Ardent Sensor will like not require the skill shot only because it goes off of ultimate Q and E, but the Stoneborn Pact is only the Q and the R here. So the Stoneborn Pact healing is just hilarious to me because he can give it to the whole team if he actually like hits somebody with a dark binding.
Got shield and heal power.
Pretty hilarious.
Gets even better.
Like,
I'm telling you.
Please no. The Ardent Sensor is just incredibly powerful. Like, Lemonnation is 1, 5, and 3 as a support, and he's still doing a lot of work here for his team with the Ardent Sensor.
Well, it looks like we're setting up for that next major objective, so we'll see just how good Lemon Sensor is in a moment. Team Liquid, their new favorite place on the map is just to the left, where WildTurtle, Lemon, and Balls are all recalling from. And you can see already in position, Piglet's like, I'm ready. Let's do Baron. It's up in 25 seconds.
Yeah, and I like this from Dardoch. He now has the Knight's Bow, Gargoyle, Stoneplate, Locket combo. So the Gargoyle, Stoneplate, Locket will give big shields to his team if they're in trouble and will allow them to kind of avoid big burst. And now we're seeing lots of Gargoyle, Stoneplates across the board here. So this is going to be very difficult for both teams to kind of navigate these fights. A lot of tankiness, Frozen Heart for Lourlo as well. And now it's going to be Moon trying to jump on somebody out of position.
So
Lourlo,
Mickey.
Lourlo has TP. He's trying to
they're going
here.
package there. They're going to try and take down Mickey. They need to assassinate him as good as possible. The shockwave, it's good. High going to leave it. Takes him down. Ball. TP's in. The death touch is going to let High go down, but he healed quite a lot on the other end of it. FlyQuest still going. Ball flashes in. Roots up Piglet. He's dead as well.
One more.
Oh, it is enough. Turtle able to get it. Binding lands for Lemon. They're going to keep going for it. Turtle looking for that triple kill. He's going to get it.
It's the WildTurtle special. Who turned on the crits? Because he gets like 4 in a row there, and they end up killing Piglet. They're going to push down mid.
That's what you get for buying a Zeal before that team fight happens. That little bit of extra time to farm gave FlyQuest maybe just enough power to win that team fight. 4 dead on Liquid's side. Mid inhib turret getting threatened. That minion wave is finally there.
We're back to even gold here in just a second, but that inhibitor is going to go down, and the map is going to be FlyQuest's for the taking with both that Mountain Drake and then this Baron. This Baron, they have almost no vision in that area. It has been control warded after control warded for Team Liquid, and this was one that FlyQuest just forced super hard with the Rengar ultimate. They got the teleport out of Lourlo as well, and this will be the TP from High.
It's just a race.
Try and get here fast. They're not even going to care about that control ward. They are taking it very slowly.
Dardoch's going to get there, but the Baron is so low. The damage is enough. They get it. Now they're going to have to actually kind of get out of there.
Oh boy.
Depth charge, he runs out of the way, but High gets protected by the Black Shield, throws out a binding TL.
They need to get out.
Oh, they found a hook. It's WildTurtle. Mickey shuts him down. Team Liquid managed to find their way back into this game. He's going to get a kill. Lourlo flashing in towards High.
And there's this gigantic wave on the top side. They have to clear this out. High's got to put some shots on it. Baron buff up those minions.
Balls just uses that ultimate, trying to buy time. 40 seconds left until Turtle is back, but TL should be able to break the base now for themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be the tank here from Lourlo. He's going to hand off the aggro, and they're going to try to get an inhibitor for themselves here. 1 for 1, an eye for an eye.
And that's been really, I think a lot of this series just so back and forth. It's been a number of roller coaster rides in a row.
I mean, FlyQuest really want to win this so that they can go into tomorrow and have, like we said, their own fate in their hands and whether or not they end up at promotion. Team Liquid, if they lose this, they are in the promotion tournament.
That was a great cancel on a couple backs using the redemption there from FlyQuest, but I don't know if they've got quite enough. Turtle just respawning. The rest of TL is going to move back.
It's the base that they were more concerned with there. The redemption actually interrupts the recalls. It allows the turret to go down, and this will give them enough time to go do that Mountain Drake.
Look at that super minion just getting in there. Slapping down the Nexus turret.
Like, that's one of those moments where if Balls was a carry, he's TPing in. You would TP in and try to end the game there.
This time around, though, ooh, it's going to be quick on this Drake, Lemonnation.
They got to be fast. They got to be real fast.
Be really, really fast.
Get out.
Everybody get out.
Get out of there.
Turtle got the way pushing in bot side as well, but don't forget the supers in the top lane that FlyQuest will also have to contend with. Those inhibitor respawns are pretty close together as well, given how much action transpired. So FlyQuest going to do what they can right now in this bot lane, but Bald's like, I got to go. There's a huge wave for me to deal with.
Yeah, and they have Baron buff on Balls, who will be able to push that wave out, and they have Baron buff still on a few members here of FlyQuest, which will be a 4-man unit pushing because Balls has teleport. Lourlo doesn't have TP yet. And so actually, staying around a little bit longer, okay. And now Lemonnation will back.
And as always, at this point, despite FlyQuest having a pretty nice comp for themselves, feeling comfy with the scaling that they've built in, execution is going to be the name of the game in these last final fights. Baron still up for a minute longer, but I don't think FlyQuest are really doing much more damage with it. So take a breather. Got about 1 to 2 minutes to soak it all in, and then our next objective fight's going to happen.
I wonder what Lemmonnation's going for here with that needlessly large rod, because Luden's Echo, Rabadon's Death Cap, Archangel's Staff, I don't feel like those are items that you want right now on the Morgana. He doesn't really have enough AP to warrant the Rabadon's Death Cap. The Ludens would be interesting. I feel like you go Rylai's Crystal Scepter. You throw down the W, give everybody Stoneborn Pact on that person. Let's go.
I think so. Helps your ulti.
Yeah, it doesn't build out of that anymore, though. It's the Blasting Wand, Amp Tome, Ruby Crystal. It's cheaper as well, remember, 2600-ish.
Maybe he's just like, I want more AP.
Yeah, that's maybe what it is for the shield, to just have more intense shield. Because once it's harder to break, it's very difficult to actually get that that Tristana or that Corki. So he may just be looking at raw AP numbers here, and it could be the Death Cap, despite not having a large multiplier. Just saying, hey, the AP ratio is really good on this thing.
I don't know. You get Last Item Chalice, then you got multipliers everywhere. Don't have to worry about that too much.
True, that's true.
Hey.
Oh, Guardian Angel.
There's an idea. Yeah, for Turtle, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's his 6th item there. Whereas you look over at Piglet, and he's still got 2 items to go. And he's 2 levels down. So more of the same happening here, and he's about to be Flame Horizon again.
He's more than 2,000 gold behind, actually. So Turtle.
It's like one of those things where like you stop looking at the CS, then you look again, and you're like, wait, what the? Because the Tristana is picking up way more in these pushes, and Piglet is not. And the Tristana gets to push the side lane, and Piglet played Varus game 3 so far, and in game 1 he played Kog'Maw. These are not safe champions to farm side lanes with. So he gets out farmed because he has to be grouped up with people all the time and share experience.
All right, well, some fun is about to happen as mid inhib's going to respawn for Team Liquid. FlyQuest is not that far away, so it looks like a time to duel is once again upon us. We'll see how these teams set up. There's no objective to take right now, so FlyQuest is like, let's just find you and fight you.
Yeah, if you don't know what to fight over, and there's nothing to fight over, and people don't like risking the end of the game.
Could fight over mid inhib.
I'll
just respawn.
I would think you would, but
Still got to worry about supers in top lane as well.
Got to worry about side lane pressure too. I think High should actually be split pushing more because he has teleport. And I don't feel like the Nautilus would answer.
Guess who's in the top lane?
It's the 6-item Tristana who will not buy anything else except he sells boots.
I think he's probably going to sell boots this game.
Yeah, fandom dancer?
Turtle's he's committed.
Yep.
He's already level 18 as well, so he's not even getting XP off this.
Yep.
The plan is it's gone to his head. He's taking every bit of farm. He just wants to pad those stats of a Piglet. Look, there we go.
There you go.
There's the Flame Horizon he wanted.
And you can see how far back Piglet has to play there. Like, WildTurtle just gets to shove up. And even with, like, worse vision control of certain areas, like we've had throughout the entire game, WildTurtle just gets that free farm on the side. And Piglet has to kind of group and get protected.
All right, Blue and Hib back. Baron up in a minute 10. Elder Dragon up 40 seconds after it. I'm sensing some fun about to happen, Zirene.
Fun for one of these teams.
Fun for me, because I get to comment on whatever happens.
And then my brain will explode, depending on what happens. I mean, it's already kind of mush in this series. It's 40 minutes in almost, and it's even gold. It's just been back and forth, and really, it's been some bit of fiasco.
This has been a very long series at this point, I think. The games have extended.
This patch.
Yes, the games have extended. Every game, I think, has been longer than the one before, and this is certainly the closest of the two, despite the fact that TL were able to find themselves a lead early-ish into the game. It just never really grew out of control like it did in that second game for them. FlyQuest are at a point where they've shown this draft once already. They've shown they're comfortable playing this sort of way, and everyone's pretty much stocked up now. Even Piglet's catching up. Mickey's full build on the Orianna has that void stuff we were kind of lamenting before.
Dardoch's actually going to get out, and here's the Rengar ultimate from Moon on the side. But this is Baron in 2 seconds. The side waves are actually in favor of FlyQuest, so fight over mid priority.
Yep. Hook.
Outplayed, and they went in.
They're going to go for the fight instead. Looks like they're actually going to keep going. Dardoch in the backline, dives on a high, and then ulti's back in towards Ball, but he's so tanky as Took is going to miss Turtle. Maybe going to get collapsed when he moves out from under the root, and a massive
Turtle getting a free firing
going to wrap them up. Turtle, he just can't find a kill, but he made it close.
Yeah, Turtle was trying to find a way into that fight where he would get some free time to fire, and he was actually a little bit too far at the start. They started that fight a little bit too fast on FlyQuest's side, and Turtle wasn't in position just yet. They've blown some ultimates there, like the one from the Maokai and the one from the Morgana.
They're hoping for a catch here instead of rushing down the Baron, and now they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're looking at the Baron and the side lanes at the same time. They have a control ward. WildTurtle, he's actually taking a decent amount of damage here, but the Ardent Sense is going to help him a lot.
Moon can't get in right now, by the way.
There's a TP to try. Oh,
you have to flash. Hook and a miss from Lourlo, who already TP'd in. FlyQuest might just want to fight high. He's going to TP back in for it. Does he have the package? My guess is yes.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
You don't complete that unless you have the package. Absolutely right, Pastry.
Oh,
look at Moon.
Lourlo, taking a lot of damage. Turtle able to free fire out high. Just looking for the angle. Wants to try and isolate someone. Piglet. Oh, he's on the side. He's going to take it. That's a kill. High able to take it. Almost goes down, but Turtle now firing back away from Mickey. That black shield, I think, saved Turtle's GA.
Yeah, saved his GA there. Now they'll turn onto it. They'll have to trade for that Elder Dragon, but that's a 3-stack Elder Dragon for the Baron, which would give TL some fighting power. If they do this quickly, with Piglet down, that Elder Dragon, we'll see. Is it a full rush there?
I went top lane.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to push mid and they're going to push top on FlyQuest's side.
Can they cancel back? Lemon does have his redemption not up, so...
Is Moon going to be here in time to smite?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Lemon, is he going to be able to steal this? No, good smite from Dardoch, but the fight actually continues 3v4 right now as Mickey hit the recall button. No ultimate as Dardoch zips out of the way. Moon barely missed that lead.
Turtle went in!
Straight in! WildTurtle style! High still going into that top lane. That's a kill. They're going to cancel one more back. Lourlo.
They're going to get Lourlo!
Not going to make it home safe.
FlyQuest are trying to send TL to the promotion tournament
and keep themselves in the race for the World Championships. They really want another run at the gauntlet. High took down the top inhib. He almost took the mid inhib as well, and the rest of the Fly are down bot lane.
Exactly, they're going to push down the bottom side of the map. Piglet is back up. This will be a triple inhib here shortly. Lemonnation with the full heal there onto WildTurtle. And that's going to be triple inhib, like I said. Mickey going to have to clear out Baron buff minions. Dardoch and Mickey survived with the Baron buff.
Oh no, that's the root, and Lourlo is dead for so long.
WildTurtle keeps getting Black Shield, walking up and hitting the turret.
That's all he needs to do.
And these are Baron buffed up super minions that'll be coming in shortly from the mid lane.
I just don't know if there's enough.
They're trying to force it.
There it is, the Nexus is open. Hold in from Piglet, but Turtle just gonna find a way. TL trying desperately, but the Nexus goes down. FlyQuest keep their dreams alive!
And they push TL down into the promotion tournament, locking them in into the 9th, 10th spot. And FlyQuest, they'll hold those championship points for now. Their match against Phoenix 1 tomorrow will decide who is in the promotion tournament alongside TL and who gets to hold on to those points.
I was always one for dramatic endings.
Because now I believe we're at the point where between FlyQuest and Phoenix 1, the 3rd and 4th place teams from last split, only one of them gets to keep their championship points tomorrow.
That's going to be a fun one, but FlyQuest, some tired smiles, I think, on their faces. Moon looks exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
After that series.
Well, as somebody who's playing that rengar that's squishy and then having to build a little tankier early, you have to think about every engage. You are mentally kind of distraught at what is going on. The engages that don't work and you get blown up, if you enter at the wrong time, if you overcommit, there is so much CC between a Nautilus, a Thresh, there's so much to stop you from going in. It's frustrating to play against, but it's the reality of the situation that you have to play into that scenario because you picked it. And so I don't blame him at all for being exhausted at the end of that. And FlyQuest hold on another day.
Yeah, looking, you know, FlyQuest, I guess I'll say at the end of the day. I like the clear game plans. I like what they're going for with the things like WildTurtle Trist. I think they played pretty much the same way for all of those games. And even though they did have a stumble in game 2, comfortable in that style, just doing simple things and doing what it takes to get over the finish line, because that's all they're looking at now.
Yeah, because you think about how that game was going at the start. Matt, roam top, hook. Matt, roam towards mid. Lemonnation gets caught, right? These are things that were really going in favor of TL. TL wins the game or loses the game with more kills than FlyQuest, but it was the objective play. It was the snap decision-making that made the difference there at the very end of who's going for Baron. Are we going to be able to contest both? Because they went for Baron. High went top not to overkill the situation, and then they won the 4-on-4, killing the Lourlo, killing multiple people on the bottom side of the map as they were trying to recall. So it was a fantastic play in a high-pressure situation from FlyQuest, because you don't always have a clear head in those parts of the game where it's been back and forth, and you don't want to take those risks, but they took that risk, and they came out on top.
It just finally feels like the FlyQuest we knew and loved from last split is maybe back to some of that form, but that's enough from us for a first-hand account on how that match played out. Let's hear from Overly and the FlyQuest.
She's new. Get her name right. Ovely.
Thank you so much, Pastry. Great cast on the day over there. I am here with FlyQuest, WildTurtle. You guys had such back and forth games, extremely tense. How did you guys pull off the win?
It was honestly pretty nerve-wracking. Like, these matches actually mean a lot to us. This weekend is a really big deal, considering we really need to win these matches to have a chance in the gauntlet and go to Worlds. So these matches mean a lot to us. And it was really great that it was a really close series, and I'm really glad that we were able to pull it out. And it took a lot of resilient strength for sure.
Now, I want to highlight one point in that game. It was the end of game 2. High came out with a triple kill, and I mean, the crowd went crazy over here. What was going through your team's minds through that point?
Game 2?
Was it game 2 or end of game 1?
I think it was the end of game 1 where he put Corki and went in. And yeah, that was like pretty insane. Like, I didn't expect High to like be able to kill any of the carries. I thought we were already disengaged. So it's really awesome that he randomly got the kills on the carries and we just ended the game.
Now, this is the first time that we've seen Mickey come out and play for Team Liquid. Did FlyQuest do any special preparation for him, or were you just ready to take him on?
I think for the most part, we were ready to take on any player. Like, I think what matters most is how our team plays, and we were pretty much focused on our 5 objective, pretty much.
So you said it yourself, tomorrow's the big day. You play against P1. If you win that, you secure your championship points. You talked about a little bit what it meant to you, but what about for the entire team?
It definitely means a lot for the whole FlyQuest organization. Like, we've been trying really hard this split. We obviously came up pretty short. So to be able to compete in the gauntlet and maybe pull a dream type of thing, it would be pretty awesome.
Are you guys already looking forward to the gauntlet? Any preparation for that, or right now are you focusing here?
We're just really focused on tomorrow's match. Like, if we lose that one, it probably ends our season right there. So,
well, thank you so much, Turtle, for taking the time to talk with us. And we are going to break down those games, we're going to go head to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. FlyQuest getting the victory here today in 2-1 fashion over Team Liquid. All 3 games following essentially the same storyline. Skirmish, 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 skirmish. Eventually, we get to a late game team fight where the death timers are long enough. Somebody kills enough people on the opposing team in order to push for a victory. And it just so happens that here in game 3, it's off the back of a very, very decisive move from High, of all people, to initiate a fight.
I mean, that's why High is so great, right? One of the all-time greats. It's because you give him a long enough game time, it's a scrappy enough game, he finds the chance to make the big play and drag your team back into the game. And it happened in game 1. Happens again in game 3.
Yep, and again, when we look at those picks there on your screen there for FlyQuest, to me, once again, a quintessential FlyQuest comp. You've got, High has played Corki God knows how many times, too many.
Quite a few.
You've got balls on an engaged champion from the top lane tank. Moon, very comfortable on that rengar to play it aggressively, and then WildTurtle even at times throughout, showing once again his ability to play the Tristana in an aggressive fashion. And I think it fits right in his wheelhouse where he's always been criticized for flashing forward. Well, guess what? He's got that move block put into his kit so that he can close that gap, still have the flash to blow defensively. It enables him to be more aggressive.
It did feel like one of the few times in the series as well where Team Liquid didn't really have the scaling on their side, at least, you know, close to even, or have like a really strong playmaking champion in the early game. Game 1, they had the Kog'Maw. Game 2, they have the Kalista. Both those have really strong power points. Varus a lot lower tier of a pick in that sense right now in the current meta. So it did feel like this was one of those games that as it went later, Piglet's effectiveness dropped off.
Right, they don't have that scaling, and that's where they might be kicking themselves for giving up some advantages that they had built, because they did have the gold lead in the earlier portions of this game. And so with an early game, more early game focused composition, if you play it 100% cleanly, should come away with the victory. When you allow it to devolve into skirmishes the way the FlyQuest wants, you eventually get to that 41-minute fight where High decides, on a whim, I see a Piglet left out in the mid lane. Let's go, let's fight, and comes away with a big play.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that a lot of people don't have the guts to pull a trigger on something like this. And here, High teleports in, draws all Team Liquid to him, and then it kind of leads them to get split up after all that running back and forth, and he finds the opportunity to just jump onto Piglet. Barely lives through that, and that's why we're talking about it takes guts, because you don't know 100% I'm going to win this skirmish.
Especially when you're playing the game of crits,
yeah,
right? I mean, we saw Piglet throw a couple crits in there. If it just goes the wrong direction in that late game fight, he could have cost his team the game as well.
And if he has, you know, the gumption to go for something like that, gets that kill, then it forces Team Liquid into a weird spot where they're trying to trade Elder Dragon for Baron, but it just takes too long to get it down without their AD carry. FlyQuest are able to get in range to collapse, and then they get a couple more kills, and this is finally what's going to be able to get them the game, as Fly had dipped out from that Baron and just gone up to the top side to take down that top inhib.
Yeah, I like the play call from Team Liquid to try and trade Dragon for the Baron. The problem is the one person that died on your team is your DPS bot for those objectives in your Varus, your ADC, and so therefore, as you mentioned, not being able to close out the global objective in time and get home safely. With that Baron, 3 inhibs go down, and it's just kind of a super minion push there at the end for the easy victory.
Yep, in FlyQuest, you see another one of those kind of heart race monitor graphs where for the goal where it's just up and down constantly, just kind of the story.
Glad to know that's not attached to a human.
Nope, that would be very scary.
A very dead human.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than being flatlined the whole time, I guess.
That's
at least it's moving.
Right,
but
there's a story there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what story that is.
It's the story of a very scary game. Your heart rate is erratic, it's jumping around, that's how this series went.
And here's the thing. It doesn't get any less scary for FlyQuest.
No.
Team Liquid now is locked into the promotion tournament with that loss. For FlyQuest and Phoenix 1, everything's on the line tomorrow. The team that comes away with the victory is the team that moves themselves up into that 8th place slot and will secure their spring split championship points to qualify for the regional gauntlet here in summer. So again, you thought that this was a high intensity matchup in terms of what was on the line for both of these 4 and 12 teams. It just gets amplified by 100 tomorrow.
And I think this is where, once again, FlyQuest experience and leadership will hopefully shine, just because this was a game that had huge implications. Both teams probably felt the pressure. I like that neither team played scared, really, for it.
Yes.
They both played aggressively, but you saw that as time went on, FlyQuest just were able to find slightly better fights and eke out these wins.
All right, Team Liquid is going to the promotion tournament, but now that we've had 3 games of evidence, I'm going to return to the question we kind of mulled over at the end of game 1, which is Mickey, Dardoch, this roster, this version of Team Liquid. What are your thoughts?
I don't have a definitive answer which one's better because they lost this series today, but a lot of games they were winning, and you look at them and you say they should actually win those pretty decisively. This game, let's remember, started with some great roams by Matt and Dardoch comboing together to get huge leads for the team, and then they faltered when it came to actually closing the game out, much like Game 1 and Game 2. Now, that said, old Team Liquid with Reignover was not known for particularly being great in the late game either. So it's not like, oh, well, this team has this clear weakness and this clear advantage. For the most part, it seems like Team Liquid's still very, very snowball reliant.
Yeah.
And if they ever kind of drop the ball once, it's going to get very hairy very quickly.
I agree, right? They didn't necessarily cover for the weaknesses that they had in terms of the late game shot calling and team play by bringing in both Mickey and Dardoch. Dardoch actually played very well today in my mind, and so did Matt in the support position. But great, you're playing well as an individual. You guys are making things happen. You're establishing those leads. But again, as a full 5-man unit, we're not transitioning that cleanly into objectives and building that gold lead.
Right, Dardoch played well, but at the same pace, Reignover had been playing well previously.
Right.
Mickey steps in, goes fine in lane versus High, but High's not a super lane-dominant player anyway.
Right, jury's still out on Mickey, in my opinion.
Right, the same way I'm feeling. So it's not like, okay, he subbed in for Golden Glue, massive upgrade, thank God we got this guy. I didn't get that feeling either. It's still kind of like, well, he had some good plays, had some blah plays, so who knows exactly.
Jury's still out, but a tough loss for Team Liquid as it does bring an end to their ability to climb the standings here in the regular season. Let's go ahead and take a look at those standings coming into the final day of the regular season. Immortals end today in first, and now it's just up to the second place team, TSM, performing against the third place team, Counterlogic Gaming, to see who ends up with the actual #1 seed. And with their loss, Team Liquid is our first team locked into attending the promotion tournament. Our last day of the summer regular split kicks off on NA LCS 1 with Cloud9 versus Echo Fox. Then the first place decider match, TSM versus Counterlogic Gaming. Over on NA LCS 2, Team Liquid takes to the Battle Theatre opposite Team Dignitas, followed by a battle to protect championship points between FlyQuest and Phoenix One. We obviously hit that one a little bit already. But the big ticket matchup, TSM versus CLG. Let's just get a little bit of preview. I'm sure we'll talk about it plenty at the beginning of the show tomorrow. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup and how it might go?
I am really concerned a little bit for Omar God, just because one of the things that TSM does super well is kind of combo their mid-jungle pressure together to go around the map and take over objectives and things like that. And I'm not going to say, Bjergsen's going to destroy Huhi, but when you put Sven and Bjerg together, they are probably one of the best mid-jungle duos in the league. And it starts getting a little bit hairy for the young jungler to try and step up and match that. Luckily, it's not that aggressive of a jungle meta where it's like, oh my god, this Lee Sin's killing me at my red buff anymore. It's a little bit better than that because that's something Sven Skaren did to a lot of people in the past. So he doesn't have to worry about that, but it is still that kind of, oh, we lost mid priority and now they're roaming down and I'm not in position to cover a bot dive.
It's funny, I feel like every time we go to the TSM versus CLG matchup, I'm indexing very heavily on the individual strengths of TSM members. You know, again, looking at that mid lane, Huhi's no slouch, Bjergsen's just a god, right? Sven Skaren is a veteran who has practice on this stage, whereas Omar God is trying to make his stamp. I mean, Darshan has had his fluctuations throughout the split, and Hauntzer has, at least domestically, relatively stayed at a high level. But what we have to take into account is that kind of nebulous CLG team play factor that it's so hard to put a value on it.
Especially around top lane. Like, I think that's the best one to point out, where like Hauntzer just like getting solo kills, has tons of damage and going crazy, and then Darshan takes, Shen into Nasus and makes a million plays for his team.
What was that?
Yeah, so it's two very different styles in the top lane especially.
It just makes for an exciting matchup every time rather those two teams meet. For today though, the casters, myself, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more North American LCS. Good night.